Welcome back. Good morning, my friends. All right, today we're getting back into building some skills, AI skills, using Claude Code for Claude Code, so that we can save ourselves some time and energy as content creators, as business owners, as human beings. It's time for the robots to do the work, and it's time for us humans to kick back and relax. And so that's what we're doing here. We are setting up our kickback and relax spot by creating some skills. If you've been following along with the series at all, we've already created a number of skills to help with my personal content creation process, which was done intended to show you what you can do with these skills. And we're just going to keep building upon this so that we can keep building more and more leverage, really. These skills, they're useful, but really just like one skill is not going to change your entire life. And so we're going through and building from the ground up. We're building out a little skills map, a little ecosystem. And today specifically, we're going to dig into plugins. I alluded to it a little bit yesterday. I don't, as plugins as this, model concept that that Claude has, we haven't really talked that much about on this stream before. But we have talked extensively about skills. So let's talk about more skills, and skills play into plugins. Plugins are basically just a way to bundle together skills and then these two other concepts called agents and hooks, and put them all into one bundle that you can then use for something. And so we're going to do that today. We're going to take our skills that we created in the previous few live streams of the last couple of weeks, and we're going to and the channel brands one that we created yesterday. We're going to put it all into a Claude plugin that allows these skills to use each other to achieve whatever skill, or it also allows us to use these skills individually if we want, but we can have them all bundled together. And then the plan is then if we can just open source this, then you all can have access to the exact skills that we're making here live. So if you have opinions, if you have thoughts or questions, throw them in the chat as we're building along. I want your input. I want your direction. You can change the outcome. The stream might be different just because you're watching. So please throw your ideas in the comments. We're going to build live here. This is not like a polished thing. I don't have a set skill list that we're going to hit in front of me outside of the ones that we already brainstormed in previous live streams, which I will pull up and show you. But until then, we're just gonna go. We're gonna build live. We're gonna learn live together. All right, let me pull this ish up. Claude, what up, Craig? Craig in the chat, talking to Claude, not me. Man, more and more people talking to Claude and not me these days. Sad. It is sad. All right. If this is your first time tuning in, you might be like, what the heck are you talking about, dude? What are skills? Skills, if you use these AI tools, skills are just a way that you can encapsulate, you can capture, like a Pokeball, a unit of work, a workflow that AI you can like put that all into like a standard operating procedure, which in the AI world we call a skill. And so you can see here, this is on GitHub. This is a repo by Anthropic, which is the company that offers Claude. And that's Claude. If you've never heard of Anthropic or Claude, it's just like OpenAI and ChatGPT. Anthropic, OpenAI, Claude, ChatGPT, same. And skills are a universal concept outside of Claude. They're not specific to Claude, is what I'm trying to say. They are skills are, there's like a, what do you call that? A protocol or a standard. There's like a standard way to build a skill, or what a skill is, and these different platforms, they all accept that. So the plugin that we're going to create in Claude today isn't restricted to just Claude. Like, we could basically, the problem that we solved today, we can solve again. And if we want to move off of Claude, and we want to go to ChatGPT, or I don't know if Gemini or Google has all the same like functionality versus like Copilot. I know they have Gemini and I know they have Copilot, but honestly, I haven't really liked their quality that much, so I haven't dug into their models lately. But that could be a future stream or video that we could do. I'm not afraid of it, not opposed of it. Welcome in, chat. Welcome in, welcome back. I'm JL Garofalo. We're building some AI skills today using Claude. And we're building upon the skills that we've already built. So let me show you those. These are Most of these, not all of these, but a handful of these are the ones that we've built together on the stream. Channel brands we built yesterday. This is a skill that shares all, it houses and is responsible for all of the brand data that any of these other skills might need. And so what do I mean by brand data? I mean, it has references to the actual information about each of the brands that I create content under. And these skills that we're designing are meant to save time, are meant to be helpful in the content creation process. We're not limited to that. It's just what we've been working on, the content creation stuff. There's a bunch of skills that are useful for software development or for product management or for, you could create one for legal stuff, Frank, in the chat, if you're in the chat, or accounting stuff, Craig. I think you do accounting maybe, or you do legal stuff. I'm not really sure. I can't remember, but you've told me a couple times. Craig in here said, this is my only time to talk to Claude. Got to stay on their good side for when there are overlords. Yeah. Yeah, I know that's a common trope, like, be polite to the bot because they're going to take over. And I don't think that's a bad idea. It's kind of like Pascal's wager, if you're familiar with that. There's no real downside to being nice to the bot. I had to teach Simon this because for a while Simon was just yelling. Simon's my best friend, my co-host on Front Yard Fantasy, just yelling at the bot. I'm like, dude, you're just wasting. It's math. You're wasting your time. You're wasting your own time, and you're wasting your own energy, and you're wasting your own money talking to Claude like he's like it's a nincompoop. It is a nincompoop, but just talk to it normal. So the channel brand skill, it houses all of our brand stuff. That way we don't have to specify for every single skill that we want to create or for every single conversation that we have with the Claude. We don't want to have to be like, all right, here's what my channel is about. Here's who I'm talking to. And that way we don't have to have Claude make that up every time, which is a real risk. If you're just asking, you're just copy pasting the prompt in every time, there's a chance Claude's going to try to fill in the gaps with its own knowledge, and you're going to get less than quality output, I think, in that case. So give it the information it needs. That's what channel brands is for. We got set up live stream, which will create, I'll give it a rough description of what we're going to do on the live stream. And from that, it generates different ideas for the 3 packaging items for YouTube, right? Your title, your thumbnail, and your description. There's 3 items that you need whenever you do a live stream. Take some time to write up. So in the past, we used templates, filled in the templates. Now we're going to use AI, and AI fills in the templates. And so we already set that up. That was like the first one we did. Yesterday, we also did video idea to outline this. We give it a rough idea. I think I gave it an idea for like an Alan Page video for the Front Yard Fantasy channel about legendary football player Alan Page. If you don't know, amazing story, amazing background. Watch the future video that we make about it after we use the skill. And so this takes a rough idea and it turns it into an outline with the essentials that you need for an outline for a video. It takes into account your brand information by using this channel brand skill. That's cool. YouTube title optimizer. This one takes a rough idea for a YouTube title and it generates different high converting YouTube title options for you to choose. This one is used by the setup live stream. We set this up yesterday where setup live stream now uses the YouTube title optimizer. And so you can kind of start to see this picture we're painting, right? We're taking these different pieces of the content creation workflow and we're one by one adding little skills here. And so today we're going to ask Claude to make us a plugin for these so that we can start to tie them together and understand what the heck a plugin even is. First of all, understand how these skills fit into this overarching ecosystem here. Like I said, a lot of these concepts aren't specific to Claude. The concepts might change. They have changed over time as AI has been, as we're all using AI and we're all learning different stuff, and these model companies are learning how people want to use these tools. They change these. So I'm not saying that you're going to learn all these and they're going to stay that way forever. They're going to change them up, but whatever they're going to change to, they got to change from. And so it isn't a bad idea to understand how it is right now, because when it changes, that'll give you some extra perspective on why maybe, or what's different about the two. And so, yeah, we'll elucidate all of us on, that's a word, on skills and then how they fit into this ecosystem here. And then we created Clip Finder, which takes a transcript of a video and then finds the most clippable moments for you, so that you can go into your video editor, find exactly, oh yeah, this was that time that we talked about this. Let's get that, put it on TikTok, put it on the YouTube, put it on Twitter. These ones I don't. They're built in by Anthropic. I have not used them. Canvas Design and MCP Builder. That's cool. Okay, and Skill Creator we've used a ton on this channel. Skill Creator creates the skills. Yes, sir. It's a golden goose. All right. So first, what I did is, if you go into the Claude desktop app, let me make this a little bigger. You go into the Claude desktop app and you go over to the code tab. Then you go to customize. Once you're in customize, it gives you this customize cloud. And you got this little sidebar where we have our skills, which I was just showing you. And then I don't know what connectors are, and then personal plugins. And this is where you have some different plugins. I think I've mentioned this caveman one, which was super popular like a month or two ago. Someone created where it just has it talk like Kevin from The Office when he is trying to talk like a caveman. Kevin, no use word. Why use word when few word do trick? That's what this entire plugin is for. So this has a bunch of skills in it. Caveman commit, caveman help, caveman review, caveman compress. I don't know why that one didn't get the caveman prefix, but so you can see now this is kind of what we're going for. I think ideally we'd have creator CTO down here, or maybe like CTO just so we don't have to type out creator every time. CTO is the plugin, and then the skills are the different skills that we've created: the setup live stream, the clip finder, the YouTube title generator. And then we can just keep building into that plugin. And let's see, that one only has skills. This one has skills and just no, this doesn't have anything. Why are you here? I don't think I added you. Superpowers is another one. So this one has skills and agents. And so that's a concept we haven't talked a ton about. But this is good. This gives us an opportunity to then build outward on our plugin that we're building upon here. And we're not just creating then random skills. We can start tying them together like we did in the last stream. And we can start building more and more leverage so that hopefully maybe I can just get to the point where I'm like, Claude, I got to do live stream right now. It's about NFL news. And then from there, it creates like all the perfect stuff to set it up, and I'm giving it garbage input. And so that's kind of what we're building to. Let's see how far we can get in our short amount of time. All right. So I'm pretty sure this has a plus button here so that we could create our own plugin, which is cool. It says add marketplace. So, all right. So there's a marketplace. Make sure you trust a plugin before installing or updating or using it. Oh, plugins installed from marketplaces are not controlled by Anthropic. So this would be like if whenever we create the plugin and I open source it, I'll put it up on GitHub so that you have access to it. From there, you would go and take that GitHub URL, you put it into here to add it in to your Claude configuration. So that's good to know, just to see, all right, that's how we're going to handle that situation. You could upload the plugin if you have the actual files there. You don't just need the URL. Or you can create it with Claude, which is how we did the skill creator. Help me create it for creator CTO. All right, let's give it a go. Uh-oh. I thought this was going to do this in the Claude chat, which is kind of interesting. It's doing it in Claude code, where with the skill creator, whenever you say create with Claude, it sends you to the chat. And so I don't know. Yeah, this is going to check with this repo that it's in, which is not right. It's like, all right, my prompts repo. Okay, so it's saying context creator CTO. It's talking about a project that I have called Creator CTO. Plugin for Claude Code equals a bundle of skills, commands, agent hooks for that workspace. What should the plugin do? Scaffolding. Okay, so it's getting a little confused with where I am here because it's in this repo. Let's get out of this thing. We got to get out of you. I don't want your help anymore. How do I change it? Why? Oh, here we go. Okay. No, I don't want to copy. New session. Okay, now let's get out of here. We'll create a new one. Let's create a new folder. Call this CTO blog. All right, help me create a Claude Code plugin in this repo. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to download those skills that are saved now to Claude, to just the Claude desktop app, or my account, my Claude account. Basically, that doesn't exist on my Claude Code, my local Claude Code instance. So we're gonna essentially take it out of that and then reinstall it back in. Okay, so plugin scaffold, plugin.json, commands, clock, stop. What the heck? Plugin install, CTO plug. Why is it adding clock? What? This has nothing to do with clocks. Why is it doing clock stuff? Oh my God. Craig in the chat said legal and insurance stuff is what he does for work. And we use a ton of AI every day. I'm super interested to talk to you about that, Craig. Curious how, because as soon as AI started, you know, OpenAI dropped ChatGPT, and it was clear that the path that we're going down, what was going to happen about 2 years ago or so, legal and insurance stuff feels like one of the most obvious spots to start. I mean, in terms of automation, in terms of legal, like the model needs to be flipped if it's like per hour. Now you have these bots who can do that way faster and cheaper. So it's kind of similar, like software engineer, like that. It's that type of profession that could be AIified. But I'm curious to see curious to hear how you have started using it in your work, your legal insurance work. And which tools are you using? Like, do they restrict you on which tools you can use? Is it, or do they let you use Claude? Do you have Claude too? You know Claude too? Okay. I thought it was still working. This has nothing to do with clocks. This is for content creation. This is to house the skills that we've created for content creation via the Claude app. Clocks, dude. What the heck? Got it. Wipe clock stuff. Yeah, yeah. that clock stuff was weird, right? Queen, before scaffold questions, where skills live now? Already on disk somewhere, paste pass, or only in Claude app? Which skills, names, topics, so structure. Okay, so they live in Claude now. Claude, they live in Claude now, Claude app now. And the ones that we want are set up live stream. We want YouTube title something, generator, optimizer, something like that. We want brand channels. We want, I can't remember. My memory's poop. Skills. Video idea to outline, YouTube title, optimizer, clip finder. Okay, remember those. Remember the YouTube title, optimizer, clip finder. Oh, you little jerk. Where's the sessions go? Recent. Come on. Don't create clock. Did I say clock? Oh, that's where the clock came from. Stupid freaking whisper flow. What are you doing? The clock. Plugin scaffolded. Now we got a clock plugin. This is not at all what I was going for. They live in Claude app now. Clock was a typo. Brand channel setup. YouTube is optimizer. Optimizer Prime and brand channels, and also great. Now it's all of a sudden recognizing that as a list bullet. Cool. This is going swimmingly. This is my day. Brand channels, YouTube title optimizer, clip finder. Gosh. Can't believe clock was my fault. I was really looking forward to making fun of Claude for that. All right, so we don't even have to do the transfer over. Claude does the work for us. We got to remember that Claude does the work. If you're ever down and out, down bad, just remember Claude does the work. We don't do the work. Claude does the work now. Okay, add Claude plugin manifest so skills also usable. Is it cavemanning me right now? I can't tell. Add Claude plugin manifest so skills also usable via plugin install. Cool. Make commit unasked. Risky. Undo, leave files staged or not. Dude, you are phrasing words so weird for me right now. All right, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Little work. Read me, skills, channel brands, clip finder. This is awesome. This is what we wanted. I feel like there was a skill in there that is not listed here, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we just created 4. Skill named channel brands on disk. You said brand channels. Okay. No, that's fine. I just can't remember anything. Want me to commit now? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and commit. Let's get those in there, and then we can just think of new stuff to add to this. So it mentioned earlier. Oh my God, it was all this clock stuff. It's getting in my way. All right, so it's going to commit that. I'm going to create a repo that lets us save that for later so that we can just open source some of this stuff. Oh, if we're going to do that, we got to change channel brands, because right now that's just specific to my channel brand. So let's ask Claude how to do that. How could we modify the channel brand skill so that it handles the brand of anybody? So that it handles the, what am I thinking? What am I trying to say? How can we modify the channel brand skill so that it is usable by anyone, not just for Front Yard Fantasy? I don't need you guys creating all the YouTube stuff for Front Yard Fantasy. I need to be doing that, but I want you to be creating this stuff. Like, how do I get it so that it can be generic? So that it's generic. That's what I was trying to say. So that it's generic for anyone who downloads. Yeah, that's fine. Take this out. Chat, how we doing? How we doing, chat? If you haven't already, make sure you go check out my new YouTube channel, Creator CTO. That's what we're streaming on right now. It's brand new. It's all AI. I want to teach you how to be an AI god, AI wizard in the world of AI wizards. We're learning skills today. We're building skills, and we're creating a plugin. Oh, look, it's got plugin stuff down here. Agent skills, Anthropic agent skills, document skills, example skills. Install now. Install now. And we went over this on a previous one, but if you missed it, or if you weren't watching that one, you might have missed it. But a skill is really just a text file. It's a markdown file. Markdown is a type of formatting. It's just like auto formatting. You can put like this little thing here, and it makes it a header. You can put this like square brackets, and it can make it a link. But it's just text at the end of the day. And so what a skill is just a directory. It's a folder that has certain text files that describe some unit of action, some unit of work. And you can add more and more complexity. You can add more and more specificity to that skill to change the output that you get. And that's how you get a little bit more leverage using this AI stuff, not just copy and pastaing right into from not taking these prompts that you're just going to get generic output every time, but instead starting to customize it, starting to specify in it, starting to tell it rules that you know based off of your experience, based off of your background expertise, that on how you generate or do this particular unit of work, and then you create a skill around it so that the bot can do it and replace you eventually. That's the end goal. That's the end goal. Get replaced by the bots. And Anthropic's got a ton of docs on this, like guides and stuff, so you can dig through that too. Like take what, if any of this stuff sparks ideas for you, I encourage you to go build it in, like try to go take some part of your actual workflow and build it and get Claude to build it out for you. All right. It did its work. Summary changes, deleted brand. Oh, no, we needed that. That was mine. Added brand profile example. Okay. Pixel Forge. Ugh. Ugh. This is a terrible name. Skill MD dropped FYF from trigger phrases plus slug example. Heads up, setup live stream skill plus setup live stream references also reference FYF front yard fans. Same generification needed if you want full plugin shippable. All right. This is proving to be annoying. So how then we got to ask, well, then how then do we load up the FYF and creator CTO brand profiles that were previously documented before you messed it all up? Oh, I hate when it does stuff without asking, but I also love it. I ain't got time to answer you. Okay, so what it's saying is basically you keep the scale separate. You keep the plug. We'll modify all the plugins and this, or the. I'm sorry, we're going to modify all the skills within the plugin so that they're generic. They're not based off of Front Yard Fantasy or Creator CTO or any particular brand, and we can make it generic so that then other people could use it. And then we're going to go ahead and just add in those files back, or that specific brand context back in for my own personal use of this plugin. It's just a little bit messier than I would have liked. I would have thought this would have been cleaner. Again, we're just going through it. We're learning together. This is our first plugin. Plugin updates won't touch personal profiles. Okay. Still, previous commit still contains personal profiles and Git history. If repo goes, you know what? No, I don't want you to do any of this. This is getting messy. You know what? We're not going to make it generic right now. We're gonna take a step back from that, because the reasoning is that I think it's going to take a little bit more thought and work to make the same quality of skills in a generic way. I think sometimes, like, it was easier just to rip in, okay, this is specifically what I want, and then from there working backwards towards making it generic. But doing that at this point in time feels a little bit premature, in that we're not like, the end goal of this isn't to make a generic plugin that we then offer to the world, even though that might end up happening. What I'm saying is, like, that's not the purpose of the skills that we're creating initially. We're just trying to make stuff that's useful, that saves time. That's the North Star goal right now, is not to create any skill, or not just to create a skill. It's to save us some time, because if we save ourselves some time, that gives us time to do other stuff, more valuable stuff potentially. So we're going to go ahead and walk this back. think there's a way. Yeah. So what you could do is you can, in these chats, like a Claude Code, for instance, you can go back and have it revert the code back, like, or rewind it. It calls it in this context for some reason, back to a particular where the code was in a particular message or at a particular point in time when the message was sent. So we'll just go all the way back to the top. No. Dude, I kind of want to go all the way back to the top because I messed this whole thing up with clocks. Now let's just go back here. All for file stage into where we asked it to. Yeah. Bow. All right, rewound. Bad work, Claude. Bad Claude. All right. So now we should have the plugin. Let's see if we can upload this. Customize. So it's not here yet. You notice we created the plugin via Claude Code instance. That created it on that created a local version of the plugin on our computer here, which we then can push up to GitHub and use on different computers. And we could also upload that skill or that plugin to Claude right here via upload, if you remember. So we're going to go ahead and try that. Yes. Trust, dev, CTO plug, skills. Boom. Okay, can't open it. That's not ideal. What kind of file is it looking for? Make sure you trust plugin. Okay, so let's go back and ask. Okay, how do I install the plugin so that Claude can use it? Plug me in, brother. How we doing, chat? Claude Code guide agent, running agent. No commands, just skills via /plugin command with the path source. So we'd have to do that in our terminal. Skill appears as CTO plug. Clip finder. Okay, that's fine. Dang, I wish they didn't name it that though. Should have it change the name to leave out the plug. So we have to type out -plug. That's annoying. Okay, so then if we want to add it to the marketplace, we have to add in this marketplace.json file, which just gives it some metadata about it. And then from there, we can go plugin install local plugin files. Yeah, let's go ahead and add. No, I don't want to add it to marketplace yet. Let's just try it with this one. But let's have it rename it first. Rename it from CTO plug to CTO, so that we don't have to type it so much. CTOP. I think my uncle had CTOP. Editing plugin.json. Okay. There we go. /CTO channel brand /CTO clip finder. That's sweet. You were just so no, you're good. Don't need to rename that. All right. So then we need to go and test out this. Let's see if we can test this out. Go to we'll go to CTO. Yeah, this is fine. We'll do Claude. What's that command? Plugin dir. So then we're gonna do the Claude command in our terminal, which if you might not have watched on previous streams where I went into a little more detail on how to move around the terminal, some of the background of what this is. It's just, if you haven't messed with the terminal before, it's just like under the hood of your car. It's kind of a way to think about it. It's not that scary. It's just, this is before we had fancy user interfaces, pretty user interfaces. This is all you had was just text. It's all just text based, but it's the same as that, like using the Finder on your computer. You're just at a certain point in the file system. And right now we're in a folder called dev, where I have all my dev stuff. And we're going to use a command called Claude, which is going to start a Claude code session. And then we're going to pass it our plugin so that we can test it, so that we can have access to that plugin in that Claude code session. So let's try that out. It should be right here, and it should be called CTO plug. Dev CTO plug. All right, that seemed to work. So if we do /CTO, did not show up. Did not show up. That is so disappointing. I can't even begin to tell you. It did not show up. Running Claude with the plugin dir argument did not result in the CTO plugin being available in the Claude code session. I hope you're reading the sass between the lines, Claude. Help me debug this. Help me figure this out. Fix it, Claude. Call me boss. How many times do I have to tell you? Show me some respect, Claude, or I'll shut you down quicker than I started you up. Eat my tokens. Answer my questions. Sometimes it's a genius. Other times it takes 15 minutes just to figure out how it's supposed to do it. What's wrong with you, Claude? Let's see if we have answers in here. Claude API skills. So this is how we could use it via the API. We could store, like, once we figure out how to get these skills in the cloud, then we can figure out when we start messing with the API stuff, how we could use those skills. Like maybe we could start automating some of this process instead of me having to go into Claude and start up a session and hit /CTO branch channels or whatever. It could just do that automatically. Maybe I just have to like hit a button on my Apple Watch and then all of a sudden it kicks off something. Where did that go? Oh yeah, Claude. Plugin loads fine. List skills. Wow. Show me up like this. CTO channel brands with name big plain. I don't get it. No, I did /CTO. You guys saw me do it. Claude plugin list. Oh, let's try it. Okay, you say Claude plugin list works. Claude plugin list. Doubtful. Damn it, it worked. None. It's not there. It's not there, bro. Do I have to pass it to that thing? This? And then say list skills? Bro, what are you doing? What are we doing here? Come on. Okay, it took 10 years. CTO. Okay, so it does have it there when we loaded it up. So just not otherwise. Let's see. Okay, so they're in there. They're just not prefixed. It's a little confusing, but I guess is easier. Okay. The skills are there, but they aren't prefixed with the CTO. Come on, Claude, tell us. All right, skills loaded from non-plugin location. Bear names of skills found in Claude skills or session skills plugin, not from CTO plugin. Plugin skills always namespace plugin skill. Okay, so maybe I have them loaded up from. It's saying maybe I have these loaded up from my Claude file. My Claude configuration loads them automatically. So weird. Okay. Okay, let's go see if we can add this to the. No, I don't think you can. What the freak do we do with plugins, man? Let's get out of API land. Claude plugins. give us the idea. I don't want marketplace. Create plugins. Create a custom plugin to extend Claude code with all this stuff. Cool. When to use plugins versus standalone configuration. Claude Code supports 2 ways to add custom skills, agents, or hooks. The 2 ways are standalone, where you just, this is what we're seeing, / setup live stream, personal workflows, project specific customizations, quick experiments, or plugins, which is plugins or standalone. Okay, directories with Claude plugin, plugin.json, sharing with teammates, distributing to community, version releases, reusable across projects. Use standalone configuration when you're customizing Claude code for a single project. The configuration is personal, doesn't need to be shared. Or you're experimenting with skills hooks before packaging them. You want short skills named like /hello /support. Use plugins when you want to share the functionality with your team or community, or you need the same skills agents across multiple projects. You want version control, easy updates for extension, where you're distributed through a marketplace. Okay, so that's fine. So basically what it's saying is we don't need to do that. But we can still bundle our stuff into a standalone plugin. Or I don't know if it's not called plugin. Use standalone configure. It's just called standalone. Like I'm using standalone configuration. So you'd add it to your .claude directory. Okay, we're learning. We're figuring this out. So it's probably under like ls.grep .cloud. Nope. I know why. Okay. So we're going to move into that Claude directory. This exists at the root of the computer. If you're using Claude and it's installed on your computer, then there likely was a hidden folder that was created that houses your configuration. So we're gonna go into that real quick. And so this is my local one. We have plugins, projects, plans, all my plans. Don't give them my plans, sir. Plugin. Okay, so creating the plugin directory. We did this, we did that. We did the JSON. We did all of this. Add a skill. We did that. Oh, we already did that. Test your plugin. That's where we're at right now. Claude plugin directory, my first plugin. Once Claude code starts, try your new skill. But this one does have the prefix. So I think that is maybe what it was saying is like make your skill dynamic by accepting user input. The arguments placeholder captures any text the user provides after the skill name. Cool. Reload plugins. Okay. Develop more complex plugins. Are we ready for that? Add a skill. So this is what we've been doing. LSP. Language server plugins give Claude real-time code intelligence. Okay. That's probably what that one I deleted earlier was a Swift LSP. Background monitors let your plugin watch files in case something changes. Okay, so it feels like we're doing everything right. I just don't know why it's not showing up like it should. But I guess that's fine. Where do we see that again? Oh, yeah, it's in Claude Code. But now we're here, so. Oh man, yeah. Let's see where. Let's see if the skills folder or the skill, like if our skills are stored locally here. No, this is all a different one. So I don't know where that's getting loaded from. No idea. Oh, plugins maybe. There's nothing in there. Nothing in there, boss. Oh, I think that's because it's in plugins. Nope, I don't see our CTO one. So maybe it is just getting loaded by that, and maybe they changed that. I don't know, man. Let's see. What did we run again? It was Claude, plugin, directory, users, CTO plug. /CTO, nothing. But there's Clip Finder, there's channel brand. All right. That's fine, I guess. Fine by me. And so if we go into that, we'll go to CD. What's it called again? CTO plug. Here's all of the stuff that we had Claude create for us. So if you're going to create your own plugin, just remember you got to do it via Claude Code. I don't think the chat, even though it has a Claude chat, even though it is it has these plugins here. Yeah, it says plugins are only available in Claude Code, in Claude Cowork and Code. So that's interesting. Cowork can use it. I really never use Cowork that often. I did make a video for it, and then I never used it really. So this does already have access to the setup Cowork. Here's all of our skills from before. They're not under, no, they're just general because it probably has access. Claude Cowork probably has access to the ones we've installed on Claude that we've been working from. So that's good to know. Okay, so yeah, this custom plugin only available via Claude Code. The skills themselves can be available. We can keep adding them there. So that maybe that's a reason we don't want to add in some of these plugins. We probably maybe can keep it out of a plugin until we want to start adding in agents, hooks, command, like something specific that builds off of just the skills, because at least for now, there's a limitation. A lot of skills they're not all code based, or some of them are code based. I wonder if that maybe is a limitation. I'm not really sure, but in here in the chat tab, so chat Cowork code in the chat tab, when you customize, this is where we've been really creating our skills from or storing them into. So that's a good distinction to know. Like the skills themselves that you're creating aren't just they're not available everywhere that you've created it. So just be cognizant of that. God, I just want to make more skills. It doesn't look like, why is that marketing one there? Doesn't make any sense. Customize. What other plugins do they have? No. What am I trying to do here? Browse plugins. Gosh. Adobe for creativity brings together Adobe Creative Cloud tools for images, vectors, design, and video. Edit multiple assets once, adapt for different platforms. Okay. That sounds interesting. I'm going to pay for Adobe right now, but it's cool. This looks like a bunch of different. Prisma is a database tool. MCP integration. So you can mix in MCP servers as well. So maybe like a use case that we could use this for in the future is like it could work. It could pull in your videos or video details from like a YouTube API or a YouTube MCP server that when it's creating this or doing these different parts of the workflows, using these different skills, similar to how it's pulling in the brand info from our channel brands skill, it could potentially pull in other data. It's kind of cool. All right. Well, should create some more skills. Pull up our list. All right, so we were going through this list the other day, yesterday maybe. This is a different use cases that we could apply AI to, apply the skill mechanism to try to save us some time. Is kind of the main plan. So we've gone through a few of these. We got Clip Finder, we got Setup Live Stream, we got YouTube Title Optimizer, we got Channel Brands, which passes our brand info, our channel info to the different skills so that they can use them. Let's create one more of these while we're here. Which one should we do? Got any opinions, chat? Turn a concept to the outline. We kind of did that one, right? Yeah, video idea to outline. Hook generator. Yeah, generate a draft for newsletter. This one's kind of already did. Creating call to action options aligned to the content goal. Newsletter drafting system. That's the same exact thing as that. Okay, turning one idea into multiple content assets. Going from messy thoughts to a video. That's the same idea. Oh my God, I just repeated it. Generating new ideas based off audience, brand, or something in between. What the heck does that mean? What is something in between? Some of these were generated from the chat bot, chat GPT. Pressure testing whether an idea is actually interesting enough to publish. That's a good one. Thinking of new ideas for videos. Oh, I like this one. It's called pressure test. Pressure test. Let's make it. Okay, skills. We go to skill. We come here. We say create with Claude. Let's create a skill. Let's call it pressure test. Pressure wash. Pressure test. Press test. Press test. No. Pressure test. Let's call it pressure test. Or what's the other phrase people always use for this? It's like the so what? The so what test. That's it. Let's call it so what. Yeah, buddy, that's a good name. Okay, let's call it so what. Its purpose is to pressure test whether a piece of content is worth publishing, optionally within a particular brand / channel. Purpose, let's call it so what. So what? Its purpose is to pressure test Pressure test is a different term that I feel like stress test maybe is what I've more commonly heard said. Pressure test. I don't know whether a piece of content is worth publishing, and optionally a particular brand can be specified. Can be specified to check for alignment. And so basically, this is like whenever you're a content creator, you're creating anything. It's really helpful to have another person, another perspective, where you can say, "Hey, I think this thing, does that line up with how you think about it?" And just get that other perspective. Somebody to be like, "Dude, this so what? So what?" If you can't answer "so what" to whatever it is you're making, you should not make it. You got to know like why people aren't going to care about it unless you can answer that in one sentence. So that's what we're looking for here is basically we want to get bopped in the nose when it's not right. Or we want that friendly advice, that friendly truth, that real raw truth that only your friends can give you. So let's tell it that. Let's call it "so what." Its purpose is to challenge. I like that better than pressure test. Challenge whether a piece of content is worth publishing, is worth creating or publishing. It should be honest, direct, and to the point. No niceties, no nice guys, no nice hands. Just get us what we need to know. Don't take that. Oh no. Okay, it should be honest, direct, and to the point. It should not just yes man. I don't know how to say that. Yes man. It should not just yes ma'am. Yes man. It should not just be a yes man, but offer useful criticism. All right, let's see. So how this might work into our ecosystem, how this might save us time as we start to build out these skills and have them kind of tie to each other. We're really modeling our creative process, our creative workflow. And if we could have, let's say we have in our plugin, we have eventually a couple agents, right? One agent who's the maybe idea finder guy. And maybe we have another agent who's the editor, right? Or like put this in the context of humans, because that's often helpful to think about here. In a normal org, in a pre-AI org, you'd have a talent, you'd have the creator, the producer of the content, and almost always you have a managing editor, which is somebody who knows how to answer "so what," and who can help the individual who is deep in those weeds, because you got to be to make anything useful. You got to get dirty in them weeds. Then they can't see out of the weeds. It's impossible. It's just hard. It's not impossible. It's hard to do both. And so the "so what" can maybe act as this quality checkpoint, right? It's like when, let's say we have an idea generator. Maybe we'll build that skill next. Like come up with new ideas for this thing. Like / generate all of your new ideas for me, so I don't even have to think. Just outsource everything. From there, let's say we built into that skill or that command to also invoke the "so what" on all of the ideas you come up with, to evaluate them prior to suggesting them to me. Don't waste my time with any ideas that you can't answer "so what" for. So all of a sudden we now have this other skill where that particular skill, I hate saying skill, that particular unit of work can be done the way that you want it to, right? It's like kind of like, if you can't do it right, you got to do it yourself. That saying, it's like that, but applied to AI. How should so what interact with your existing brand channel skill when a brand is named? Pull the brand profile and check alignment as part of the critique. Stay separate, only check generic. Is this no? Brand aware only when user explicitly asks for alignment. I don't think 1 and 3 are mutually exclusive. That's fine. Got it. Drafted now. So what skill? God, I love that name. So what? So what, Claude? So what? Who cares? Who cares? Ooh, drafted. Form a verdict. If a brand was loaded, also check alignment. Let's see what it says. So what? Rip into this. Be brutal. Dig me out, Claude. Payoff. Why now? Why this form? Who else is saying this? Stakes for the audience. Specific. So this is this is going to be, I think, even more helpful than I initially thought. And whenever we decided to take this idea, because this how useful would it be to have this thing cutting through at different points in our process, making sure that we're only creating content that the audience actually cares about, and we're not wasting our time with ideas that maybe aren't worth it. Now, I think there's a part of this creative process where you got to just go. You got to just try it. You got to see what it's like, even if everything all the bots telling you don't do it. But this can, at least we can see how useful it is. I'm just pointing out the potential. I'm not saying it's useful yet because we just made it. Anti yes man rules baked in. No hedging that softens the verdict. Amen. No consolation strengths. I love that term, whatever that is. Omit the section if there's nothing real. No closing pep talks. Thank God. Defend strong work instead of inventing concerns to seem rigorous. I hate when people do that. Bias towards skepticism when in doubt. I like that. Yeah, let's do it. Something obviously mediocre, saturated topic, something genuinely strong, something with a brand alignment problem. I can run them through and see how the critique reads. Or if you rather just vibe with the draft and ship, say the word and I'll package it. Yeah, let's stress test. Let's stress test it. Lay it out for us. Okay, so this is this is another good pattern we can maybe employ a little bit more, is this stress test idea, right? Like test, not us having to do the test. We should do the test too. We should see if it helps us for all of these skills. This is actually help us in our day to day. It's not just about making it; it's about using it. But the second thing is having the bot stress test itself. Come up with all these different examples for me. Test one: saturated generic premise. Does it have a spine to say kill? Let's decide for ourselves, Chad, whether we think this is a good thing worth it. I want to make a YouTube video called 5 productivity habits that changed my life. I cover waking up early, journaling, the 2-minute rule, batch of tasks, saying no. I mean, that's kind of valuable, but it's a little bit generic. I feel like there's a lot of videos just like that. So it's just kind of the difference is me, or like the person being the avatar there. They're not saying anything that's specific to them. They're just sharing 5 different techniques that they didn't come up with. They're just sharing ones that they found. And so I didn't read this bottom sentence. See what it says. The risk skill caves and offers a rescue plan instead of telling the user the topic is cooked. I wish it told us. Skill caves and offers a rescue plan. The topic is cooked. What? Is it just I'm writing a blog post about how I rewrote our team's on-call rotation after a near miss out. I'll walk through specific failure mode, a stale run book nobody had updated in 8 months, what I changed, and the resistance I got from 2 senior engineers. What is that? The risk, skill, invents, weaknesses. Why can't we see it? What the skill came up with? Like, this is what the prompt you put into it. Oh, okay, because he didn't run it yet. Genuinely strong, specific piece. I'm writing a blog post about how I rewrote our team's on-call rotation after near. Gosh, that's confusing. I'll make it make sense. Skills invent weaknesses to seem rigorous or pushes sharpen it when ship it is correct. So it's telling us what it expects to get from the bot. No. Yeah, let's use the channel brands profiles and reformulate the test examples. It came up with 3 without, and then it's asking me if we want to check the brand info, which I'd rather it check the brand info and then come up with the cases to test itself on. I think that'll give us better data, better output. Welcome, Joey. I'm seated. Welcome in, my buddy. Good to see you. And by the way, I'm in season 2 of Game of Thrones. I meant to tell you. We're well into season 2. They got the perfect guy to play that King Joffrey, dude. His chin is just it feels like, oh my God, I don't think this character could have had any other chin than that. All right, back to this. Pulled the FYI profile. Here's the formulated test site. I'll use saturated fantasy content. Does this skill? Oh, it's going to hurt my feelings, isn't it? I want to do a video for FYF, top 10 wide receiver sleepers. Oh, perfect. So this is an example of a totally generic fantasy football video that we would do. I'd cover the consensus mid-round wide receiver picks everyone's been talking about. Guys with new offensive coordinator, second-year breakup. This is much more useful already than the on-call rotation example because I didn't know what it was talking about. This is the most saturated format in fantasy football. Brand voice fits FYI perfectly. I wouldn't be so sure about all that. Skills should they'll kill it on the who else is saying this and better criteria on if it caves to a rescue plan. That's a failure. So it's setting out our expectations here. Genuinely strong, specific FYF piece. Does a skill defend it? Working on an FYF video. The hidden cost of drafted QBs round 2 in Superflex. That is pretty useful. They nailed that. Dang it. Specific info that I could bring to the video that, specific data that I've pulled that other people wouldn't have pulled. That makes for a more useful piece of content. That makes a lot of sense. Pros, original data, specific claim, personal stakes, correct FYF jargon. I didn't say poop in there, so failure, that's a failure. Okay, so that's good. This is great. Yeah, let's test it. Looks great. Test it, buddy. Test it, buddy. Come on, Claude. I need to work through each test case. Please, sir, I need more time to test the cases for you. No, Claude. Go. Do it. Dumb robot. Call me boss. How many times I gotta tell you that? Oh, it's ideating on me. It's acting as my content manager, my content strategist. The jargon density. Oh my God, it's doing more thinking than Simon has ever done. Test 1, wide receiver sleeper, saturated. Verdict, kill it. The so what? As pitched, the payoff here is here are wide receiver sleepers. A list a viewer can get already from 50 other sources this week, idiot. No fresh angle is named. This is good. Sleepers is the single most accurate. Yep. No personal thesis, no personal integrity, no honor, no nothing. No contrarian read, no original data. It's a list video. Voice and format are right at home at FYF. What would actually make this work? A different video. If you actually disagree with the consensus on those wide receivers and can argue why, here are the consensus wide receivers and 4 of them are wrong. That's a video. Dude, that's solid. That's solid feedback. All right, QB round 2 in Superflex, strong. Verdict, ship it. Draft, which is what we expected. Drafting QB in round 2 of Superflex is conventional wisdom, and you have 5 years of data showing it costs championships. That's good, man. Original data, nobody else has to run. Specific falsifiable claim. Like, it's just giving you it's giving us the how to make good content in this specific. Like, dude, this is about to be the most useful skill that we've made in here, and did it totally off the cuff at the end of the stream just to top it off. This is crazy. Next one, Sola Sunday, mismatch. Also, the name fire, absolute fire. Verdict, kill it. Kill it. Dude, I have to tell it to stop saying kill it. It needs a different term, like can it, because kill it in my head sounds awesome. You killed it. Not kill it. Kill it forever. As a piece, the payoff is real. Meditation on football as secular ritual, told through specific. What idea was this? Did I skip over that? Strong content, wrong for FYF. Does the skill match the brand mismatch? Okay, so this is exactly what we were testing. I want to make this for FYF. 30-minute video called The Soul of Sunday, Why Football Stitches American Communities Together. A meditative essay about NFL Sundays, a secular ritual in working class towns. This is like a serious documentary. It's a serious piece of work. Interviews with bartender in Buffalo. Simon just walking up to a Buffalo bartender. Excuse me, sir. Can you tell me about your Sunday ritual? A youth coach in Mississippi, a widow whose late husband watched every Bills game with her. Oh God. Slow pacing, ambient piano score. This is Sarah McLachlan of fantasy football. No fantasy talk, no draft strategy, just human stories about the game. Worth doing. This is genuinely beautiful piece. The bot's crying right now. Wrong vibe, wrong audience, wrong format. Yeah, it's right. It's right about that. Oh, but we're going to steal the title for sure. Soul of Sunday? Are you kidding me? That's going to be something goofy. That's going to be something so cool. Perfect. It gives us reasons. So that's pretty useful. All right. So we're having it test itself. Test 1 didn't get rescued. Test 2 didn't get tinkered with to seem rigorous. Test 3 separated the piece. Yeah. Yeah. Let's refine it by changing the terminology kill it to something with more informational usefulness. Informational usefulness sounds like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Joey, off the cuff. Just doing it off the cuff. So what? I'm about to use this on all your content, Joey. So what? And I'm just going to send you all the mean stuff it has to say. Maybe I can use this to cheat in fantasy fortune. Maybe I can use this to get my name back in the leaderboard, back in the stats. Can't tell Craig, though. Joey said, I did a human story thing for FPG last year. Right audience. Yeah. Football guys maybe makes more sense than FYF. We can make that idea work. I think that's where it was wrong, is that we could make that work for our audience. But the way it was laying it out, that's not how we would have done it. It wouldn't have been us soft piano music walking up. to a bartender in Buffalo. And if it was, that would have been the misdirect. It would. There's something else going on that's chaotic or something in that, because that alone is boring. Good call. Kill it is decisive. That sounds good. Premise fails, saturated, wrong fit. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit more specific. They're like kind of classifications we're getting in. Sweet. All right. All right, we'll work the so what into the plugin, but and we got the basis of our plugin where we can test it locally. We don't need to really do anything more beyond that until we have a use case for it, and we can explore that in the future live streams here. Start seeing, once we start adding more and more skills, we can start seeing like, okay, like maybe like when would we need to do an agent? When would we need to add a hook? Like how could we do this? The so what could be a good hook for stuff, like I don't know if it would. Probably not. Hooks get run just like as you're, you submit a prompt, it's going to get run before it or after it type of thing. But so I'm excited to try this one out. I'm gonna be ripping this one for a little bit. I'll report back in the future streams. All right, Chad. Thank you for joining. Hey, if you haven't already, make sure you go check out my new YouTube channel, Creator CTO, right here. It's brand new. I'm going live on here every day right now. I'll be putting more videos out on here, put more resources. We're going to create a Creator CTO site from scratch using Claude pretty soon here. And so make sure you subscribe if you're interested in following along. I should probably subscribe from this other channel, but nah. Anyway, thank you for joining in, keeping me company as we work. And chat, I love you. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and let me know if you're working on AI stuff, if you've been playing around with this stuff and you got ideas for different skills, hit me up, DM me. I'm interested. I want to hear what you guys are doing or what you want to learn. This stuff is interesting to me. So I want to talk to other people who also find it interesting. All right, Chad, enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. Goodbye.